All right, we'll call to order the meeting of the Fairfield Public Library Board of Trustees at 7:18 on Monday, October 20th. First item of business is roll call. Aaron Harrigan.
Here.
Maybear.
Here.
Dr. Paso. Here. Stephanie Rossari.
Here.
Peter is not here. Okay. I thought I checked my email today. All right. That will open it up for public comment. None in the room, none on the virtual meeting. So with that, we'll go to the approval of minutes. Are there any edits or amendments to the minutes?
Just quickly on section 8A, the fundraising report, just a tiny little addition, please, of the discussion regarding fundraising originally planned for September. That's what should be there.
Do a motion to approve.
I move that we approve the meeting minutes from the September meeting without revision. Second.
All in favor? So moved. All right, with that, we'll move on to the chairman's report. As I've arrived here, it's been 2 months since we last met. No,
Yeah.
month. Feels like 2 months.
Month and a half.
It's the back end of October. It's so late in the month. It is almost the same distance as the last one. No, a lot of exciting things going on. Obviously, I was at the library and saw the mural being put up, and it's looking good. No, things as schools back in session. There's a lot of excitement with the library, and it's fun to see kind of the engagement that from elementary into middle. So always fun to see those different the changing usage of the library as kids grow up. So with that, I'll actually turn it over to Scott for updates.
So just real quick, because Carolyn is here, she's our head of children's services. So she's going to present on summer reading, which is some updates or things I just wanted to touch on that you should all know about. One is the patio is done. We're super happy with it. It's fun to see people out there eating their lunches. Really positive thing. 2, I now have a regular standing every 2 weeks meeting with the select board. And we just sit down for like 20 minutes and just kind of talk about stuff. It's been really nice. It's kind of helped me kind of feel like I'm really more in touch with what's going on at the town level, and it gets her really engaged in the library. And then last but not least, the policy, which has been my life for the last month. The final edit went out Saturday. So what you have in your packet today, those are the policies. We're not going to really discuss them, but those are the policies that still have yet to get official approval, but should get official approval by November 1st. And that tees us up to have it voted on at our November meeting. So look those over. If you have any questions, feel free to email me ahead of time. Anytime you do that, I will address it in the meeting as well as address it in the email. But there's not much we can change because it's all, I think it's a severe overreach by the state. So it's been a little frustrating. They wouldn't involve the town attorney. Like I requested, can you involve the town attorney so that I'm not playing a game of telephone?
Yeah.
And the response was, I only respond to library directors. So I know a lot of other library directors are unhappy because there's a lot of overreach. There's a lot of typically in these situations, the state says, you need to include this paragraph in your policy. That's how it's always been done in every library and, you know, in that I've worked in, both here and in New York. So this was rough. It was like, you felt like you were being graded. And you felt like you were gonna flunk and, you know, even more embarrassing when the board's involved. So we're there. There's one typo that needed to be fixed, which I thought they didn't need to have it fixed to approve it, but that's besides the point. But I think we're in a good place. And with that, we'll go over to camera.
I'm gonna pull up the camera too. Present.
I have to share this.
You probably have to share it first, then present.
So, good
Good
Zoom,
Zoom.
yeah. Oh, well.
Alrighty. So I am Tamara Lynn, Head of Children's Services here at Fairfield Public Library. So excited to be here, talk about summer reading, favorite time of year. Why do we do it? It's always a good reminder. We do it for fun. We do it for the joy, for stimulation. Children visit our library for all those reasons, and we keep them happy and occupied and constantly learning. What children don't realize, of course, is that we are also helping them develop that growth mindset or those bigger brains by reading and participating in activities and taking risk in a safe to fail environment. So that's just pretty much what that says there. Did you plug in the thing?
I did. Not working?
No.
Okay, I'll do it.
Okay.
You have to click back onto the Canva.
Yeah.
Like you're right now, you're in this, on the Zoom as the app. So if you click back in there, yeah,
Okay.
then it
There you go.
should start working
There you
now.
go.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Just kind of all.
So the number of books a child reads during summer break has a significant impact on their reading proficiency. So for K through 5th graders, reading at least 5 books during the summer helps to retain the hard work they put in during the school year, and that's really what we want to help with. 9 books or more is shown to improve upon those skills even more. So as adults, we know how nourishing reading can be for our minds and souls, and children are just learning these benefits without realizing it. Developing literacy skills, strengthening their vocab, working on phonic awareness, sorry about that, and perhaps becoming an expert on their favorite topic of choice. Pleasure reading has been shown to foster empathy and helps to develop those extremely important social and emotional skills while encouraging creativity and reducing stress. So our 2,218 registered summer readings here at FPL read an incredible total of 1,694,352 minutes this summer. The amount of reading sure to have an impact on these areas of development. So we're going to talk specifically about how summer reading challenge works. This is a look at some of the graphics we created here in-house for the tracker and the prizes. The one down at the bottom is the lawn sign. Okay.
Who creates all that, just out of curiosity?
My whole staff. So I did the tracker,
Oh, very
Emily did the lawn sign, and Emily has got the white Viking
Okay.
in the hat.
Very cool.
So it's pretty much, I've had the same staff for a long time, so
Yeah.
they all have their same thing that they do
Very
pretty much every year. So for the details, by reading and participating in activities, children earn virtual badges and virtual raffle tickets towards end of summer prizes. The level up stickers and prizes encourage families to return often to the library. And each child leveled up at every 100 points. earning a sticker each time for their paper tracker, which was posted at their library of choice. And at 500 points, they received a pack of FPL branded playing cards to take home. These were so loved. At 800, they earned a free book, and at 1,000, they had that one sign and a certificate of completion. So here's some happy grand prize winners. That was the preschool box in the middle. He was just beyond thrilled. It was so cute. And then those are some of the interactive prizes that we came up with, which were prize parties.
That's one of my daughter's friends.
So the bonus level was that 1,500 points, for which they received the much coveted dragon study. And a book plate, which they placed their name in their favorite library book for all to see. And there's a lot, their photo taken and put on their tracker. Children love the honor of completing the program and having their picture taken. It really is one of their favorite things. It's so cute. Okay. So at this point, I think it's worth stressing the incredible value of the lawn signs and the stuffies as incentives. These incentives drove unprecedented measurable engagement during the 2025 Summer Reading Challenge. The prizes were visibly introduced to the children through library staff outreach in the spring preceding the summer challenge and created a desirable goal for children to target. While these items are an expense, they enabled the children's department to achieve critical program goals, dramatically boosted literacy engagement, increased patron visits, and served as a potent marketing tool. Continued funding for these high quality, high impact incentives is essential for sustaining this summer reading support, and we owe much to our friends of FPL for underwriting them. Okay, let's dig into the numbers for summer reading. You can see the many categories that saw improvements this year. From the snapshot, you can see that the program continues to grow. We had 2,218 kiddos registered, which is about an 8% increase from last year. And to put it in context, this number represents about 50% of all Fairfield's K through 5th school population. Our data shows that all age groups continue to see increases in participation. So the preschool, the kindergarten, first grade, second, and keeps growing. Again, this translates to 1,694,352 minutes read, up 14% from 2024. Of that number who registered, 1,005 completed the challenge, a 22% increase from last year. Children were considered finished when they reached 1,000 points. 721 children reached the bonus level and received their dragon stuffy. 1,418 readers completed activities versus the 1,312 in 2024. Activities included programs with library staff as well as those found in Bean Stack's weekly challenges. The activities encouraged the children to participate in online and offline endeavors. For example, they could write a book review and read our story walk book, or do both. Story walks are located outside at both libraries. Okay, so as I said, children can earn points by attending activities, and we provided a wide variety of programming options for them to choose from. For the very youngest, we again brought Touch a Truck program. It's so loved and it's such a good time. We invited the police, the fire department, DPW to come over to the Woods Branch Library, and children participated in a story time. They had the opportunity to explore those town vehicles. We also continue to offer our popular Sing and Stomp program at the Sherman Green Gazebo and continue to partner with the Fairfield Museum to offer story times on their lawn. Regular indoor early literacy programs continue as well. It was a pretty hot summer, so sometimes we had to move inside. Children in K through 5th had so much to choose from, including game on Thursdays, reading dragon tournaments using our very own homemade dragon collector cards, which the kids just went crazy for these things. Big hit. Book buddies, where teens and children work together to improve reading. Weekly take home DIY craft kits with how-to instructions found on our YouTube channel. And elementary school nights for all 11 schools in Fairfield, where children and parents got to reconnect and play book cover bingo, and of course, so much more. And that's like the kickoff. You see the spin art bike over there. We had a good time. Okay, all of our programming numbers were very robust. Our staff also hosted hundreds of outreach and in-person story times, which resulted in attendance of over 25,000 people for the summer. In addition to all these active programs, we also offer a range of weekly self-directed activities. Children enjoyed our dozens of in-library bonus activities that changed weekly. We had the Reading Dragon card games, again, using our house-made cards. The drawing challenge, a mystery game in the yellow box, and everyone's favorite, the scavenger hunts. If the kiddos completed 2 activities, they got to pick a prize from the prize sheet. The favorite was either the coupon to Bricks and Minifigs, which is over here by ShopRite, or a necklace. They actually loved getting a different necklace. So we just got charms from Amazon and put them on a cord, and they just love them. Okay, so, and then the Wall of Fame is where everybody got to write their name, and they thought that was the best thing ever. The result of all these amazing programs and activities is that patrons visited the library in droves. Children made up 87.4% of main library's door count, which was up from last year. And during the 8 weeks of summer reading, the percentage was even higher at the Woods branch. These numbers demonstrate how we have become a key destination for Fairfield families that helps encourage overall library usage. The checkout challenge helped to drive circulation numbers for all patrons of the library and incentivize children to check out books for points in the SR challenge. Of all the items circulated at Maine between June 13th and August 9th, 56% were children's items, and at Woods, it was about 54%. Okay. All these numbers certainly illustrate the success of our programs, but we also conducted a qualitative patron survey that further underscores the trends. In 141 completed surveys, patrons expressed that they felt welcome, they enjoy taking part in activities, they learned something. Time and time again, patrons reported how positively they felt about the summer experience. They definitely love the lawn signs, I asked. They're grateful for a challenge that drives their kiddos to read and to love reading. And then, of course, we got some actionable feedback where they said that it was a little complicated. So we're already thinking how we could make it easier for them for next year. Okay, good. I'm gonna go this one. So that works. Okay. So what was the secret of summer 2025? We attribute it to several factors. My staff, full and part-time, they are wholeheartedly invested in the program's success. But more importantly, they're invested in making a positive difference in every child's life. Every kiddo that walks through that door, they're every librarian's favorite kiddo to see that day. Number 2, we brought our roadshow to 11 elementary schools and performed 16 times. Number 3, partnerships. We partnered with local organizations, businesses, the public schools, Fairfield Museum, Town of Fairfield, utilized social media, all to drive traffic into the library. Story times at Penfield Beach and Fairfield Museum and the Sherman Green Gazebo have all been exceptionally well attended. Continuity. The program's fundamental structure has remained consistent for the last 4 years. Town's residents are familiar with the program and value its high quality and its consistency. And then, of course, support from the friends of the board. Again, it goes without saying. that the board and the Friends support, financial and otherwise, remains invaluable. Here are some images that feature accomplishments of my staff. They're so amazing. Our summer is a sprint from start to finish. I could not deliver the success we have seen without these full and part-time employees. Those two are actually both of Miss Karen doing one at the museum and over there at the Sherman Green. And then Miss Emily is over here at the beach. And this is what a day in the life looks like during the summer. And that congestion by the desk, we usually have like a line throughout the day going out the door. We had Candyland. We did a festival and the interactive movie, which are very much loved. All right, so how does this all tie into our strategic goals? I think you'll agree we met all of our goals this summer. 100% of the children's programs we offered this summer enriched the participants' lives, supported them in learning something new. We expanded our digital library presence through Beanstack, which is our online tracking app for reading programs. As I previously mentioned, for our Touch a Truck summer series, we partnered with town departments to bring amazing vehicles to the Woods Branch Library. And when we do story times at town locations mentioned before, we're expanding our reach and often marketing our services to new individuals. It's great at the beach. People will just be there for the day and they'll see a story time and they'll come over to check it out. It's perfect. And we are already planning for next year. As for things we'll work on, maintaining these high numbers will be challenging, but of course we want more circs, more library cards issued, more visitors. And I'm always thinking bigger. I have a vision of what our library can look like and how we can push the limits of our offerings. Already we're accomplishing one of last year's goals, getting that colorful mural painted in our stairwell, second floor, to excite and welcome patrons, created by Fairfield author and illustrator Mary Jo Scott. And we're always exploring ideas, and I know with your support, the sky's the limit on what we can do for Fairfield families. And I sincerely appreciate your time and attention to this presentation. Summer Reading is our premier and most successful program, and we will remain dedicated to continuing to serve the community.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
6 people did all that work.
Well, we have a lot of part-time staff. And they are amazing. Jen Garner is part-timer and she does all the scavenger hunts for both libraries. They are by far probably the most popular thing we do all summer. So great.
That is fantastic. Those numbers are somewhat staggering. 1.6 million minutes.
Yeah, and that was just the children.
Yeah.
Together, the town read over 2 million. And what's interesting is before COVID, we couldn't even make it to 1 million.
That's amazing.
Like, it was every summer, we'd be like, let's go, we could do it. And we'd be like, we know we could do it this year. Now it's like, we did it. What do we do now?
Yeah. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Is that, Scott, is that something we can put up on, some of the data?
I think we're gonna do, was thinking that we do a press release and then we see if we can get the town to highlight this.
Yeah, I mean, see, we.
I mean, the 50% I mean, I'll just say this, the numbers that this department, the children's department puts out are dream numbers at any other library.
Oh, God, yeah.
Other libraries do not touch this in terms of just, not just participation, but the depth and kind of thought out programming and connecting everything. So, yeah, we are very lucky to have the staff that we have. And the town is very lucky to really have a library that thinks these things out. And Tamara puts a lot of thought into kind of the strategic. We have a lot of conversations in my office about capacity and being strategic and doing it with the resources we have without burning staff out. And the staff are so incredibly dedicated that that's always my biggest concern.
Yeah.
So sometimes the director's saying pump the brakes, they ignore the director.
No, we never ignore. We take into consideration.
Or do you say that you
have a vision for the library and what it could be? What if there was no cap on capacity? Like, what is that vision of money, time, resources?
well,
No.
We definitely would restructure both libraries, what their children's could be is so much more. If it
Structurally.
was physically redesigned to be more, they worked with what they had, but if we can go through and gut this place and get it set up, I would love to get it set up correctly so that children's has what it really needs to be successful. And then even at the main library, we can change things. We talked about changing the castle. Not taking it away fully, but like redesigning it so it's much more ADA compliant and we do have at least 2 or maybe 3 kids that are in wheelchairs that come on a regular basis and they cannot have anything to do with the castle. And that kind of breaks my heart. So just rethinking the room. So starting there and then we would probably need more staff. Definitely if we got a bigger space over here, we definitely need somebody else. Because they do, during the summer, it's gangbusters.
Yeah.
Like I changed my whole schedule, so I was always available to be around at 6, if not later, depending on how many people we had. So more help would be good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you mention something for the castle?
Castle's falling
The
apart.
castle's falling apart, so, yeah, I walked through, I did a walkthrough with DPW, we're getting rid of the stage that's on the castle, because that's created some injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're good with that. They're like, we'll do whatever you need us to do, we just need a plan ahead of time. Because some of the concerns is we don't know what's under some of it. We don't know
Yeah.
structurally what's
Hasn't been
there,
touched
what's
since
hiding.
2006.
So
wow.
that's the big question mark before we do anything drastic. They're like, we can tear it out, but you need to let us know what's gonna come afterwards. So they were great about the work orders and hopefully they do in the next few weeks. Stage, I think, will relieve some stress for the staff. And then after that, we're gonna come up with something for that. What was funny was Tamara and I were both interviewed, and I should share it with you guys, I can't believe I haven't, on a podcast. A really nicely done podcast, and they talked about how the children's room, it was representing parts of the town, and I think you said, and then a castle. We don't have a castle. And I was just like, oh, that's a really good.
In the Burr Mansion.
Yeah, so I think we need to maybe explore changing that space up so it kind of fits with the rest.
Yeah.
And HR walked through when they were in charge of, and I don't know who's in charge of safety. And they were like, I'm like, yeah, every day, and they get those reports. So there's a little bit of organizational, it needs to change, but also I think, that's such a great room.
Yeah.
That I think we can enhance it.
Yeah, we can't get totally rid of it though, because you'll have.
Oh my God, I'll get run out of town.
Related to the summer reading, I do have to, my girl on my daughter's softball team wears her socks.
Oh, I
From
love that.
last-
They do
last
love-
year,
they
yeah.
do love those socks.
And
yeah.
those are her softball socks.
Oh,
So she wears them
that's
every
that's
single
so
game.
awesome.
That's so great.
And I saw that the person was like, Elliot, I love your socks.
Yeah, actually, we have the swag in the scavenger hunt prize thing, and a kid was like, "Blue socks."
Oh my God.
Those went fast.
Yeah, no, the engagement you're able to get, I mean, the 50% of all this,
Yeah,
that's,
that's huge. Even the
that's-
media specialists are impressed.
Yes, we should be definitely shouting that to the,
Yeah, we did a small social media thing in August when we posted it, but
I think we should. do a
yeah,
little bit
anything we can
more.
do more.
yeah,
Thank you very much.
thank you.
And Tamara will be doing this presentation for the Friends tomorrow night.
Thanks.
Wonderful. So if you want to see it again.
Thank you. Good
Remember-
night, everyone.
Remember, the Tuesday show is much different than the Monday show. That is fantastic. That's always a wonderful presentation. Celebrate growth last year continues, so, you know, building on strengths is always wonderful to see. All right, moving to our next item. Is there anything else with regards to library updates?
No, we're good.
Okay. With regards to our policy review, I think you've spoken to it pretty much.
Yep.
Anything else of note?
Nope.
So just to everyone, take a look at the materials in here for our next meeting in 3 weeks. And we'll be able to have that in place. And obviously keep us updated if anything.
Yeah, we should be good. We
Okay.
should be good.
There's gonna be,
Sorry.
that's okay.
Fine.
That's all right, okay, keep going. The mural is gonna be completed in early November, and we'd like to, Scott came up with the idea of doing a ribbon cutting of the mural. Well, that funding for the mural came out of a named fund, and the guy is still alive, so we should be inviting him and finding a way to really thank him for, and his, the fund he named in his honor, his deceased wife's honor, is that it?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah, she worked at the library.
oh, see, these connections.
She was a children's librarian, so
Oh, I didn't, okay.
his focus is things for the children's
Yeah.
department.
So we should be thanking him and making kind of a bigger deal about the fact that this stuff is happening because of philanthropy. So trying to think about ways like that, taking a look at those lists, and again, collaborating with the friends, these people are giving in myriad ways. And how can we bring them closer to us in preparation for the future? We also talked about doing a trustee page on the Fairfield Public Library website. Like doing you described it perfectly, like a passive ask, an informational letter that comes from the trustees, with a passive ask about like estates and stocks and how we are getting funding and how we are different than the Friends. And when you would go to the Friends versus what you might want to support directly with the library. We've talked about benches, we've talked about memorial gifts, we've talked about naming opportunities. So all of this is to say that there's like a lot bubbling now that I think now that we're really spending some intentional time and thinking and talking about it. I don't think necessarily we should be having a monthly report from the fundraising committee, because I feel like bringing forward ideas and suggestions as they are relevant seems to make sense. It feels a little bit artificial to me at this point to be like having something that is reportable every month when there's still so much sort of groundwork that's happening. So if that's okay, that to me, that feels like the way, the topic of discussion. Are you all okay, Andrew particularly, if we like bring forward reports from the fundraising committee on an as needed basis?
Yeah, I think it's perfectly fine to make them ad hoc. It's, you know, have monthly goals, and we do, obviously, we 6 weeks in between meetings, 3 weeks,
Yeah.
so it's, you know.
Yeah,
As they come up, I mean, share what you have in these meetings, but if you want to send something out as an email as well, to bring everyone to, you know, request feedback, things like that, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fundraising is in its own essence kind of ebbs and flows.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that makes complete sense.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great.
I mean, we'll still have you on the agenda, but you know, just it's an avenue to bubble up anything that hadn't gotten response or something like that. So yeah, we'll still keep it on there, but
Okay, and yeah, we're gonna eventually come, and I know we've sort of talked about this loosely with some general recommendations for the trustees, like what does it mean to be a member of the board of trustees with regard to our fiscal and financial responsibilities for increasing funding. Not that we're necessarily actively every month going out and actively soliciting gifts, but like being members of the Friends as as an example. But I don't think we're at the point yet where presenting a list of proposed actual recommendations for the trustees to accept or deny. I don't think we're there yet, but some of these things are starting to feel a little bit more important, again, especially as we're thinking about rolling eventually soon-ish capital campaign.
Yeah.
Because that will be our responsibility.
Yes. The other thing, I was just thinking about this, yeah, you're talking about donors, one thing, and this is always, Peter was big on this, was grants as well. Particularly in support of Maine and other things, as we focus resources on woods, just something to keep in mind as well.
Yeah.
If we have purpose, because there are purpose-driven grants out there that we can always apply
Totally.
for, so.
Totally, but I think too, what we'll also need to consider is what the resources required to do that, to fulfill those grant applications.
Yeah, to do the grant
Like,
writing.
you may at a certain point have to put aside some budget from the trustees' budget to hire people to do some grant writing,
Yep.
because that's a specialty.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, and I don't have the bandwidth anymore. Oh, see, we've got the connections, we've got the
Yeah, there you go,
resources,
yeah.
but there may be an investment we need to make in order to do that.
Spend money to make money.
Something like that.
No, that's fair. Thank you for the update. I really do appreciate that. Moving on to the building committee, nothing meaningful, though, Scott, we did.
The RFP got posted today.
Okay, yeah, 'cause we talked, it was, so yeah, just keep us posted with regards to the RFP. What's the
John's-
deadline?
John's, it's 3 weeks out,
Okay,
and we've got the committee will be myself and Nancy.
okay, great.
When you say posted, is it publicly?
It's publicly posted, so. It was publicly posted before, this time it's gonna stay.
Lovely. No, fantastic. Yeah, just keep me updated. Feel free to bring me in where necessary, John or Scott, Nancy, and etc. All right. Yeah. Mike, hand it over to you for Friends of the Library update.
Thank you, Andrew. Hello, everyone. Happy to be here as always. If you didn't know, this week is National Friends of Libraries Week. Right. So, it's the actually 20th anniversary of the National Friends of Libraries Week. Yes. I'll be writing an op-ed for local media, touting the great success of our public library as well as the Friends effort, as well as the trustees efforts. Kristen Talley's gonna stop by our meeting tomorrow night, hopefully have some kind words. And we're gonna be emphasizing membership, becoming a friend, as well as getting your library card. So that's our plan for this week, and a fairly hefty dose of social media. So keep an eye on your social media feeds and like and share. Our annual meeting was last month. We had a lovely meeting. It's always great to meet Friends members, the folks that are there simply because they want to help the Friends Board and become a friend and donate that small amount of money. It's always nice to meet them and say hello to them and ask them what they're concerned about, how they feel about being involved with the library and whatnot. There's a great deal of pride in the Fairfield Public Library, as we all know. So, and that's our Friends annual meeting is a good barometer of that feeling. We said goodbye to a Friends member, Helen DiVizzano, who, as I called her, she is our lioness. And she is leaving after many, many years. So we said goodbye to her, and hopefully it won't be the last time we'll see her. I'm sure it won't be.
She'll be over in the new book section pretty much
No
in the
doubt.
afternoon, that's where I usually see her.
Very nice meeting. And we had two great authors do a quick book talk. Danielle did, as always, does a great job of bringing in authors. So that was a highlight as well. So that was our annual meeting. Two recent events was the Food Truck Festival. Attendance was down. It was a nice day. I think the Food Truck Festival has probably run its course at this point. We rode a high for a number of years. I think the idea of food trucks have become so ubiquitous that it's just sort of, there's no real like compelling desire to really, come out and, in large numbers. So if you're not gonna get that large number and that large dollar figure, I think it's time to probably reevaluate and come up with some new ideas for fundraising, so.
Or maybe not do it every year.
Possibly, yeah, I mean, we'll
Every
see.
Second or
Yeah,
third year.
it's possible. So this more than likely will be our last one. It was a good 8-year run, 9 years, but minus the 1 year for COVID. We had one right now, so, thank you to all of you who participated, helped out and visited, and we certainly appreciated it. And, it was a good run, we're proud of the effort, but I think it's time to try some new ideas. I think we are officially retiring the food truck. Jennifer Butler's fashion show was yesterday. Again, attendance was down. It fluctuates, as John pointed out, it was a very lovely day yesterday, so we probably lost some attendees for that. But I think we're gonna raise about $750 for that, so. One thing we're considering is that the mini golf after dark event was such a popular thing that we may adopt the same strategy with Jen's fashion shows, do them at night in the library with the help of the folks that brought in some new visitors to the library at mini golf as well as with the comedy show. So something we'll talk about. Scott will.
I love that idea.
We'll get your take on that, and I think that could be the thing that sort of boosts that up a little bit. The fashion show is always just been Jennifer's, that's how she personally likes to give back to the library. And then, it's not a gigantic moneymaker, but I think people enjoy it and she enjoys it. I think any way to increase participation, I think that strategy could work. So,
Did you schedule something?
Yeah, that was me Sunday.
Yeah.
We are soon to be in the merchandise business. One of our board members has took it upon herself to look into the creation of a mug, a coffee mug, with our logo and the library's logo on either side of the mug. And we'll be selling those to raise money, so.
I want a tote bag. I always want a tote bag to go to the library for my library books. I feel like
You
you
can
can
open
brand
the
it.
door and you put your book in there when it's.
Yes, and I lose my library books at
We
home.
sell
If I-
tote bags.
You do sell tote
Yeah.
bags? Oh, look at this.
Really, I don't think I've.
I don't think we advertise it very well.
You
Or that's an excellent
Yeah.
idea.
A little
Yeah.
snack table by the door, people would love that.
So, yeah, we're just sort of, this is our initial step into merchandise, and I think something like a tote unique to the Friends, for instance,
Yeah.
would be a good idea, so thank you. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. An initial outlay, our profit, I think is about $10 a month or something along those lines. But Margot's gonna be talking about it tomorrow night, and just another way to sort of keep our presence out there and whatnot. Events coming up, Halloween at the Museum, kids all come out in their costumes, it's a major event, the friends will have their table there as usual. If you're there, come by and say hello, it'll be at least Danielle and I, so. That is Sunday, the 26th, from noon to 4 at the Fairfield Museum. We have an ongoing scarecrow contest up at Greenfield Hill Commons. If that's that little shopping plaza, if you're up near there, take a drive through the parking lot. There's all kinds of unique scarecrows lining the parking lot and whatnot. And the support from the local businesses in that plaza and from other folks as well is raising some money.
They're up already. They're up already.
They are. Yep.
We're a little behind, I guess, because we're
Yeah, we're supposed to do a
doing a
scarecrow.
library one. Yeah.
Let's get on it.
Yeah, I guess so.
We have our big book sale on November 14th, 15th, and 16th at the main library. Book sales, big and large, are always very popular. And it's always a great way to bring in, we usually do close to $750,000, maybe, something like that. And that's always popular as well. We have a fabulous author talk coming up, on October 29th. That's a Wednesday night from 6 to 7:30. The author Catherine Newman will be here talking about her new book, Wrecked. Catherine Newman is a fabulous author out of Massachusetts. Did a lot of fun YA stuff for a long time, and then her first novel, called We All Want Impossible Things, came out in 2021. Then her next book was a hit. It was called Sandwich, and that got some great reviews. Became, I guess you could call it a bit of a bestseller. Wrecked is the sequel to Sandwich. I would describe it as sort of literary fiction, family drama, lighthearted and whatnot, but she's a great writer. I really enjoyed reading her, so looking forward to that. So if you're interested in hearing a good author talk, Catherine Newman is a good one. We are partnering again with Big Bookstore in Black Rock Books. So they supply the books for sale, so that gives them a bump. And you have your copy signed. That's it for me. Thank you.
How do we get them?
I will let you know. We're Margot has got all the details ready to release them tomorrow night. So I will put out I'll send everyone an email on how to do that. No discounts for the trustees, by the way.
That's great.
We are aiming to get them available for Christmas. So
Oh, fantastic.
that's our goal.
Fantastic. Oh, that's great stuff, Mike. And yeah, keep us do with what's new, what the new food truck festival is going to be.
Yes.
No, you've been doing, you and the friends have been doing for, the programming stuff. It's phenomenal. So thank you for all that. And yeah, as always, let us know if there's anything. I'll see you tomorrow for at least the beginning.
Oh, great.
I think my wife has something else to go, some other meeting to go. She's also to run home. It is at Maine, right?
Yes. He'll be able to run home, yes.
I mean, 6 years, that's the first time I've gone the wrong place, so, I had to check that box before, the end of the term. Well, thank you, Mike, I do appreciate it. With that, I'll hand it over to Erin for the treasurer's report.
Sure, I actually don't have my typical report, and that is because interestingly, when we opened the new account with Vanguard, the Vanguard funds, it's only available to see on the Mercer platform. Yet they won't give me access to the Mercer platform until we have all my signatures. So, for all the authorized signers. So, one step, but interestingly, I can still see the other Vanguard funds on the Vanguard site, but not the new account. But then I don't have the total
Yeah.
to share, so I can make up a number, but it's not going to be exact. I mean, it's around 12 million,
Yeah.
give or take.
Give or take.
Yeah. Give or take, but I just don't have that total number because I
Yeah.
can't see that 3 to 350.
Yep.
That's in that new fund, but if I can get you to sign this, I'll send this
Yeah.
back to the
And
guys.
we're meeting in 3 weeks, so.
And we're meeting in 3
That'll
weeks and I'll have an
proceed.
update then, yeah. And I know, Jen, you had talked about when you received the information, they didn't name this fund.
Yeah, it's the
So-
same, exactly the same as the.
So once I
allergic
can
one.
go online and see how it's listed, then I'll reach out to them and see how we go about renaming it.
Yeah,
Okay,
because it seems strange to have different funds all with the same name.
Yeah, yeah.
And I
Yeah.
can't even find like an account number on there, which is.
Yeah, and I was gonna reach out to them on that, but I wanted to see like how it's showing before I do so, so
Yeah.
we'll get that resolved before the next
Okay.
one, but I wanna grab your signature before we leave.
yeah,
Because it was previously, in Vanguard, it's you, me, and we previously had Chris Rogers, obviously, we're not putting him on, but it should just be the two of us, I assume.
Yeah.
No difference, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's all I have for tonight.
all right. All right, then, we'll move into the reconciliations and check registry.
Also, I just want to mention that there was included in the packet, the quarterly report of
Oh,
our town
yes.
funds. And it looks a little funny because, they didn't separate out payroll properly between Woods and Maine. And also the various categories of payroll, such as the pay differential that staff gets for evenings and weekends. They haven't tallied that at all. It's just all in the general payroll. And also overtime earnings, which is Sunday. They haven't been putting that in there. I think it's because of the pay comp issues. But it's so, Woods really has only had 2 people being charged for part-time. But the second part of this report, or the third part actually, the first page is Maine, the second page is Woods, and then at the bottom is all the payroll line added up together. And it's 23% spent, so it's pretty much on target, yeah. Even though it looks.
Yeah, I have a question. I got my question answered as, again, update on the children's. Like the part-time payroll was pretty high percentage-wise for you. Is that related to all the children?
Yeah, summers are big part-time utilization in our budget. Our budget literally starts,
Right.
which is kind of nice. It's kind of nice to have your big spend.
Yeah.
It makes it easier to kind of navigate.
But you're looking at the 35% spent.
Yeah, that's a.
But if you look at Woods, it's
that's the
1.2%
Yeah, why-
spent, because they charge everyone to Maine. They charge all
That's-
part-time.
Okay.
It's a
Yeah.
big
Take
combination.
my question back, yeah.
So I don't know, I don't know what's gonna be the resolution of that, or if there will be one, or if we'll just have one big budget.
Which is what we've
nice.
asked
We
for
would love
every year.
that.
Right.
Yeah,
Makes it
I
easier.
mean, with part-time, it makes so much sense because we're just, part-timers work both buildings for all over the
yeah,
place, so
so
it's
it's
really.
yeah,
And so, they tried to do it in the past in Munis, I think it was, they pulled the based on where that person was assigned. So it was never accurate. Because there's people who are assigned here, and because it's such it's a heavy lift to change where people are assigned. So if, Wendy's full-time, if Sarah was, she was marked as here when she got hired, but now they use her at Maine all the time, it was still so it's never been accurate.
right.
But we're we're a little, I believe we're a little underspent on that one. But we're gonna make up for that with Baker and Taylor, our main book distributor, is going bankrupt. So that we'll report on next, you'll hear all about that next month. So we're now we've gotten permission from the union and from the town HR to allow our part-time employees to work over the 19.5 hours. So we're bringing in a bunch of our part-time librarians, because we now we're like, we have savings to kind of help with some of the book processing, because that's, the staff were great, we actually kind of read the tea leaves. So we've been moving to some other distributors, which, talking to my friends who are directors, it's a great thing that we did. But Baker Taylor does most of our processing. I mean, we went from, what was that department 10, 15 years ago? Like 5 people?
I don't know, it's been
Yeah.
up and down.
I mean, it used to be like its own little thing, and then we whittled it down because we were using the book distributor to do processing. Right now, we're doing a lot of our own processing, because Baker Teller's like, we can send you the books, we just can't process them.
Not
So,
Baker, the other.
the other Ingram,
Baker and Taylor's like
Yeah.
diminishing stock, they have hardly anything.
yeah,
in the
that's a
warehouse.
whole other nightmare. So that line, long story short, that line, well, it's a little underspent, but it's a good thing that it's underspent, because we'll be able to use some of that allocated funds for making up for this book distributor issue.
Thank you for sharing that. I just realized that this is the checks for approval for the Fairfield Public Library revolving fund.
Sorry about that.
Is that a new Apple product? Does anybody have any questions with regards to anything on the checks for approval or reconciliations? bumblebee honey. Great. We have a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion that the library board of trustees approves September reconciliations and pending October checks.
Second. All in favor? So moved. All right, with that, we'll move into our old business. In the last meeting, we discussed the 2026 meeting schedule. So does anybody have any questions, concerns, feedback with regards to that?
I just had one question, when we met Stephanie, Scott, and I think Scott, you sort of initially floated the idea of that annual meeting of inviting maybe some donors, bigger donors. Would we still wanna have that be part of the annual meeting, or if it's, more of a, sorry, I'm so tired of the, if we're wanting it to be more of a stewardship type of event of separating that part of it to be focused on,
I think what we've done, like with the schedule that I have for policy, and then unless there's an emergency, I think we should do it at the annual meeting, starting a little bit earlier. And really try to make it like the friends or the business meeting is like a quick,
Got
you
it.
guys approve the checks, approve the minutes,
Sounds good.
and that's really it. And then it's wine and cheese. I think that would be
Oh,
it.
doing the meeting first?
Doing the meeting really quick first,
Okay,
and saying, okay, blah, 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 everything kind of goes through, and then
that makes sense.
that I think would be, it'll keep us in time, but also give people the opportunity to hang out.
Cause we've done the meeting second. in the
Yeah,
past,
and I think we kind
Yeah.
of, there's a
People
little steam
can't
by
get
that.
there early, so they're missing some of
Yeah.
the reception.
And then sometimes people are nice, they don't wanna leave, and I'm like, oh, God.
Right, we
Now
don't
you're
have
stuck
to
in a
rush
boring
everyone out.
business, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was
You know.
thinking, if we're wanting to like store donors at that event, but that makes sense.
And that gives people the opportunity to kind of come in when they want, in a little bit of a way.
Right, rather than having to get there
Get
right
there
on
early.
time because you're getting asked to
Because
leave.
we have to start a meeting.
Yeah, I think that's sort of what I'm getting at, yes, that makes sense.
And I'm looking at the schedule, April 13th is Fairfield's spring break. I don't know when your spring break, if your spring break is that same week. It is. It is.
Mhm.
So I don't know if we want to have a meeting.
The April,
The April 13th, yeah.
So, let's see. 6th is Easter Monday. Which,
Yeah, that's typically. They're not doing it,
Doesn't coincide with Easter,
that's so weird.
because Easter's early, I think.
Okay.
It doesn't always, cause
Yeah.
Easter's all over the
Really?
place. Sometimes it's in the end of March,
Is
so
there a February break?
it's always
for
the
Fairfield?
second week of
No.
April.
no,
A day,
Second week.
what,
Usually
a day and a
the
half?
second
I think we have a Friday, it's like a Friday and a
Monday.
Monday, so it's a 4-day weekend,
Yeah.
which,
It's this, either we do the 6th or the 20th.
hard to say.
I'll chime in personally, it's my daughter's birthday on the 20th, so I
Okay.
probably won't physically be here.
the 6th is the day after Easter.
6th is the day after Easter, so I don't know.
The
I have to be in
20th
San
seems,
Diego on Monday the 20th, so.
Alright,
20th
Let's do the
seems
6th.
kinda
Yeah,
late.
it'll be 3 PM for you, right? No, 4 PM.
So we'll do the 6th.
You don't know.
4 PM.
Uh,
I don't know, it works like a bunch of different time zones and has to just convert quickly. I was actually talking to somebody from Chile today, and it's like, nope, they're an hour ahead of us.
They're an hour ahead. Okay, I was gonna say,
It surprises you.
They're
Their
so
names
far, they're
are-
So far
so
south.
far. Well, you forget how much
Oh.
South America actually moves
Move- yeah.
eastward.
yeah.
Such that Chile is, yeah, east of us.
I would not have guessed that, 'cause it's on the coast.
Yeah, it's on the west coast.
I would have.
We need Jan to bring up the map up there.
And so, oh, sorry, go ahead. No. I was gonna say for the July, so is that, will that be a different time then?
Yeah, we'll probably start till 6:30.
So we should change it on here, because that would be the official meeting. It would
Okay,
be 6:30. We're gonna do it after,
And
so
then the reception at 7.
reception to follow.
Talk fast to get started earlier.
Exactly.
I mean, really, we could probably do it in 15. So,
So do we just decide that we're moving the April meeting?
To the 6th, yes. And then,
So do we wanna make the meeting at, because what time do we want the reception to start and work practice?
I would say the meeting is 6:30, yeah. With a reception to follow.
But we'd be inviting others to the reception, so we have to give them.
I would say the reception starts at 6:45
Yeah,
after the business meeting.
all right then. So with that, we want to vote on the amended 2026 schedule.
I move that the library board of trustees adopt the amended 2026.
I'll second.
All in favor? So moved. All right, moving on to new business. We've basically touched on it, but
Yeah, and I don't know why on the memo it says parking request. But yeah, the RFP was reviewed. And it's been posted.
I didn't even notice it's
I
a
didn't notice
parking
it's on
request.
that. Partner request we'll talk about next meeting.
Okay, and then we have the policy review schedule.
Yeah, so this isn't something we need to vote on. We may need to change some of the policies on the website just to say when, that we've changed it a little bit. Not a lot of shifting around, but of course, tried to avoid July to avoid the annual meeting. And then we don't meet in August, so it kind of worked out perfectly.
Yep.
And as usual, you'll get the policy a month at a time. I don't foresee a ton of edits. I think we're in a good place with the policies. So I don't, we've done some work the last year on them. I
Yeah.
don't see as heavy of a lift. Sometimes it'll literally be like, here's policy for the new board member to be reminded, for you guys to go, yeah, we do have a policy on this, because we don't expect you to have them memorized, but most of the time I don't see any major edits.
Great. Great.
Are these attachments, the request for reconsideration meant to be part of the reconsideration policy then? Is that
Yes.
for our review
Yeah.
too? Is that-
Yeah, those are,
We
those
talked
are,
about those, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like several times.
yes.
Okay, I just wanna make sure that I'm.
No, it's good, and some of the things that I think you brought up, we actually, the state implemented. So, yeah, they were adamant about it, so they must have been listening in.
Yeah. I never know.
And what's in the record, the most recent edits, and those have all been approved. Like I said, the only thing we're waiting on right now is I made a typo, and then that needs to be fixed.
I had one more.
With
A little comment.
Okay.
That you know.
No.
Oh, it's like a grammar thing. I do.
Okay.
Section 2, the sentence librarian in the collection development maintenance policy. The sentence librarians are responsible for selection, are professionally trained to carry out collection. So I think it's either librarians are responsible for selection and are proficiently
So
trained,
that's
or-
the exact language the state gave us.
Oh,
It's not a sentence.
Yeah.
I literally, I'll say this, Phil and I got just so fed up, we were just copying and pasting and what they asked us to put in, which is
I'm
really.
sorry, the way you said that's not a
That's
sentence.
the angriest I've ever seen her.
Oh, that was amazing. Yes,
So
you're right. It
that's-
should be
'cause it's in
librarians
the-
responsible for selection and are professionally trained.
Should have-
curate.
should
Or you
have
can
that
take the
first
first
R.
R out.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Let me see, I'll email them and say, you know, board member was
She's really upset about.
really upset about the grammar.
This is the angriest I've seen her.
This was really, she was,
This is, this is the fun thing.
so I'll reach out and see if
I
they're.
mean, don't worry about it if they're okay with it.
Okay.
If it's gonna be, if we're not gonna get state funding because we changed it, then
Yeah.
forget it, but.
All right, Connecticut, do your gobbledygook grammar.
I mean,
But it's something they may be open, so I'll reach out.
Yes.
Northern Connecticut.
Yeah. So Hartford people. All right, so with that, we've come to the end of our agenda. Do we have a motion to adjourn? All right. Do we have a second? All in favor? Aye. And with that, we adjourn our meeting at 8:27. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you at Maine next in 3 weeks.